Welcome back to Digital Devil Saga. Last time, we found a mysterious naked person, encountered a couple of random members of the Vanguard who were about to ambush me during my intro, hi there, and realized that we had the power to transform into demons and had to devour our enemies. By using Surf skill Void Ice, you can nullify an enemy's ice attacks. When their attacks are nullified, enemies will forfeit their turn icons and your turn will come sooner. So I already explained that in the last video, but this is actually the perfect time for Heat to be gaining Argy, because if we're being told that we need to use a Void Ice here, these things are probably weak to fire. Yes, they are. Also, things frightened, which we can't do anything with just yet. And analyzing is pointless considering that these things are, yeah. So right now, you can only have one Void Shield active at a time, and it will go away after the turn is over, regardless of if it is consumed or not. But I'm going to pass my turn over here so that Heat can use Argy. And yep, we have blocked the attack, and the Empusas become frightened because it just realized that its attacks are useless. So what's interesting is that Empusas are based on a man-eating monster from Greek mythology that often encounters travelers at crossroads and, well, eats them. There are a lot of mythological beings among the enemies in this first dungeon that have to do with, well, you know, eating and devouring. So there is kind of a thematic, theme to the enemies in this place. There's actually a lot more symbolism than I realized was in this game when I was doing some research. And there goes Harley. Now, he ran that way. We actually don't want to pursue him that way. We want to head this way first. Pursuing him is, I wouldn't say it's a trap, but it is, it's not going to really take us very far. Also, just remember, there is actually a downstairs area that I could have visited, near that save point. I might head back there later. Hello, on Meraki's. Okay, right, so last time I didn't get a chance to show this because he only just learned his Void Fire skill, but here we go, Ice Shot. Now, you can use the combo attack on the turn of anybody who is part of it. So as Heat has a Void Shield, I can use this with either Heat or Surf. So how the elemental shots work is, it's entirely based on the character whose gun you're using. So Surf will always use an Ice Shot. And what's also kind of weird about the way that combo skills work is, because they use up 2 press turns, both of those press turns turn into half turns if they hit a weakness. Yeah, they're a little strange in the way that they work, but, you'll want to, know that. And I can't use the Ice Shot here because I need 2 turns. So generally speaking, it's not worth it. It's not really worth it to use Ice Shot in this dungeon against regular enemies, except maybe cockatrices, because they are usually only alone and they are weak to it. But although I do believe that I think I will be able to use Ice Shot twice in this turn. Also, this costs 3 MP for both characters firing for both characters in the combo. That's how combo skills work. Should be able to finish you off. There we go. But yeah, from now on, we're not getting a whole lot of Ice Shot, but we will be seeing more of Heat's Fire Shot, because that's an area effect. So against anything weak to fire, like those Empusas, and ghouls, very, very useful. I'm going to go for 2 points in Magic and 1 point in Vitality this time, just for a little bit of assurance against taking damage, because Surf can easily become a glass cannon if you're not careful. +1 Vitality on Argilla is okay. You'd rather have +1 Magic on her. Okay, here, we have a wall right here. Now we've got an Alp that's not weak to anything, though. Oh yeah, I haven't mentioned this before, but just like mainline Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, physical attacks cost HP instead of MP. And they're percentage based, so the more HP you have, it's not really going to make much of a difference. You're still going to lose about the same amount. So this wall is currently already up, and I believe this is actually where Harley ran to. Yeah, so this is why you don't want to chase Harley immediately. If you activate this switch, you'll cut off his retreat and force him to run further into the dungeon. Aha, I was hoping for Impulses, because if we have Impulses, we can revert heat. Go back to here and use a Fire Shot. Does cost twice the MP of Surf's Ice Shot, but it does a real number on anything weak to it. Very good encounter clearer for things weak to fire at this point. Not getting any strength boost on heat though. That's kind of how it goes. If you get early strength boosts on heat, it can really help, especially in speedruns. Oh, he can just straight up one-shot those things now. And Surf has mastered his whatever the heck this is, and gained Devour and Hell Thrust. Not skills I particularly want on him, though if you're going for a physical build on Surf, it might be useful. Some people like to go for physical builds on Surf because, yeah, some of the enemies will go first as well, which is annoying. It's kind of hard to mitigate this without certain skills. But some people like to go for physical builds on Surf just because physical stat boosters are the hardest to grind for. And grinding for stat boosters is a very real thing in this game thanks to the Super Boss, which is widely considered one of the hardest in any JRPG. Now with 2 people asleep, we're now forced to consume 2 of our press turns. And yeah, you wake up before the enemies go, if you do randomly wake up. Yeah, not using Hell Thrust yet because of Surf not having a lot of strength. But I do want to explain that Devour skill we just got, because that's a very important skill in this game, and it relates to why I said that that enemies being afraid is only going to be relevant later. The problem is most of the enemies right now are just too weak to, they basically just die to the majority of weakness attacks anyway, so they're not really going to have much of a chance to get frightened. Oh, it just straight up died. Yeah, it can be hard to manage enemy HP, but let's just say that this game becomes a somewhat darker, edgier Pokemon once you get Devour skills, in that you want to weaken enemies without killing them. And you might have already figured out why. These are rare chests, and they contain fixed items. This one has Charged Shot, which right now I probably want to equip that to, not set, it's item. Equip that to Heat, because I'm going to be using most of, going to be using his gun for most of this, and I'll give you the Shot Shell. But the Charge Shot will be going on to Surf for the boss, because we're going to be using Ice Shot for that a lot. Definitely worth your while to grab that if you know about the gun combo skills. So back down these stairs. And now we're back here. Oh, hey, Predators. So, Predators are actually kind of interesting from the standpoint of this game, because they are weak to... They're weak to fire as well as earth, which are 2 of the elements that Predators are lacking in Hindu mythology. Predators are the reborn souls of corrupt or greedy people. They're kind of pretty low on the rung of the karma ladder, which makes perfect sense why they are some of the low-level enemies in this game. The Predator design in Shin Megami Tensei takes more from the Japanese counterpart called Gaki. You might have heard Gaki if you've used as a term for bratty children, if you've watched any anime with the Japanese dub. This is the origin of that term. Now, I believe, yeah, I can't open this because the wall that we just switched is blocking that. But if I'm remembering right, we don't even need to open that door anyway. We'll be reaching that area from the other side. I suppose I can show off Hell Thrust. It looks kind of cool, but it's not definitely far from my favorite attack. I will say that in an area that otherwise feels like a very good tutorial, Alps are kind of the one, like, blemish on that to me. They really should have either had weaknesses or used an element that you can block with a Void Shield just to kind of tutorialize the press turn system and the fear system a little bit more. Now, right, we knew from last time that Argilla was able to kill you, but Surf has way less strength. Light damage and hunt to one enemy. Okay, I didn't actually kill it. But next turn I'll be able to kill it probably, because it's in red health now. So, obviously, you want to finish off enemies with Devour skills. Because here's how this works. Normally, at the end of a battle, it's implied that everybody shares the corpse among themselves. If you finish an enemy with a Devour skill, though, that entire enemy is consumed by that specific character. So in this case, Surf got all the Atma points from that Alp. This can be useful for mastering your question marks faster, and because of that, you want everybody to learn Devour skills. They're always pretty useful. Devour skills are also very strange in that they deal damage based off of physical attack power, so your strength stat, but they're not actually considered physical elements. They are their own element that operates on unique properties. And we might see one of these properties here. Devour skills, though they will be auto-criticals against frozen enemies. I'm just going to intentionally pass my turn just so I can show this. They do very little damage to frozen enemies. Obviously, eating frozen food is not good for you. However, if an enemy is immune to physical, they are not immune to Devour skills. They're essentially their own element that is also physical. If that makes sense. Just going back here to heal and then check out what's downstairs. It's actually not important yet. I believe it's just for a later part of this dungeon that isn't accessible now. Okay, here are these stairs leading down. So yeah, that's a red wall. We definitely can't do anything with that now. That's for way later. And a yellow wall. Well, yellow wall. Can't do anything with that now either. I should also mention that Surf devouring that one enemy is actually not going to matter because you already mastered his question mark. You won't gain any more Atma points after you've mastered your question mark. I'll be able to explain what the question mark things are eventually, just not yet. Oh, hello there. This is a slime. Predators have Zahn. That can be problematic because Agil is weak to that. Now, slimes are weak to a lot of things. A lot of things. Such as ice. Aha! Slime is frightened. That is going to give me an opportunity to show off something else about Devour skills. And I guess while I'm here, I can go ahead and scan the Fiend Slime. Yeah, you might be freaking out about Slime being a Fiend if you played other Shin Megami Tensei games. The demon species in this game are different to the ones in others. They're actually more in terms of broad, like, categories that are... I'll explain this more when I need something to talk about in another video, because it's very complicated. But anyway, strong against physical, weak to fire, ice, earth, and expel, null, death. Devour skills are more effective against enemies that are afraid. That's the main reason why fear is important. Especially when you get to a particular type of Devour skill that we'll be seeing later. So we can actually outright leave the dungeon here. There's not a whole ton for us to do in this area, I don't think, though. Except pick up an item. Ah, yeah, suddenly relaxing music. After all of that brutal demon, yes, devouring action. Remember this plays for later, though, it will become more relevant, but that's not until significantly later in the game. Suddenly more slimes are showing up. And freeze, which means it loses its physical resistance, as I mentioned, so this is going to do a lot more damage than it normally would coming from heat. Yeah, see, normally Argilla would have an earth skill, but she does not. Predators are also supposed to be lacking the element of water, which should logically mean that they're weak to ice too, but I guess, yeah, ice is considered different from water in, like, SMT. It's usually worthwhile to always use the heal terminals where you can. The price is pretty negligible, and you'll be getting enough marker out of battles anyway. Speaking of which, an NPC will discuss this later, but I might as well say it now. Winning battles quickly gets you more marker. You get the most marker by ending a battle in one turn. So being the most efficient with your press turns and hitting weaknesses and killing enemies fast gets you better rewards. Oh, Karma is the name for experience points, by the way, in case you're wondering. So yeah, now we can pursue Harley, given that we just cut off his escape route previously. This very big and very empty room that doesn't really serve a whole lot of a purpose. In fact, now might be a decent time to talk about that thing in the top corner. So it says max right now, that is solar noise. It's the equivalent of the moon phase system from other Shin Megami Tensei games, as I said in the last part. But the way that solar noise is mostly only relevant in this game because there's no demon negotiation to skills that make use of it, along with selling items to shops. Weirdly enough, it increases and decreases when you're walking around. So now that it's hit max, it will start going down and then it goes all the way down to min. You'll know this in other games as New Moon and Full Moon. There are certain skills that increase your critical rate based on whether you're at max or min, and this is why you don't want to use this switch twice, because, yeah, now I can progress through here, where Harley was forced to run. I believe everything here is weak to fire, so we can go ahead and switch Heat over into human form. But yeah, the other thing that solar noise does is that it resets certain elements of the game. There are certain things that respawn once solar noise goes all the way from max to min, like a full cycle. There are some items that wear off when the solar noise hits min, so don't use them if you're at what's called decreasing 1, which is, you know, for example, right now we're on what fans would term as decreasing 7, now decreasing 6. So that means that we're at 6 out of 8, and it will be decreasing as we walk. Decreasing 1 means it's almost at new, which means that, or, you know, min, and that means that your items will wear off. Also, certain items in shops sell for more money at max, and some sell, well, one specifically sells for more at min, and there is a chance of the party recovering from status ailments when you hit min noise. You may notice here that Argilla really doesn't have a lot to do. She'll get better, trust me, but let's just say the fact that she's not eating things is severely hampering her combat performance right now. I probably do want to get another level up on Argilla, because we're actually almost at the boss. I'm going to kind of continue with this a little bit. I am intentionally holding back, because if I put everything into magic for every level, the boss would die very fast. This game is not really balanced around you putting all your points into magic. That's kind of why they nerfed it in SMT5, to the point where your protagonist's stats are mostly fixed, and you only get 1 point to freely distribute. It means that you can, like, choose a build, but it prevents you from going all ham like this. So we just got an Ice Blast. This is an item that deals ice damage. I wonder if that's telling us something about the boss that's incoming. We also got a Revival Gem. They fully recover HP and revive. Alright, I promised myself that I would get another level on, because it just kind of sucks when you're just at a boss and you just haven't got a level up yet. Oh, okay, finally an enemy crit me. Yeah, this is what some people call SMT bull crap. Because sometimes enemies will just get a turn on you and then hit a bunch of your weaknesses or get crits and just do a whole lot of things, and it gets annoying. And then they set up the Void Shield so I couldn't use any ice on them, but they don't anyway. So, you know what? Heat's not going to level up from this. He's kind of a jerk right now, and he will be for a while, so I'm not going to favor him. He's still a good party member, though. Okay, didn't get any magic boosts on Argilla for this dungeon, which is unfortunate, because that does help a lot, but still. She's mostly going to be reduced to healing for this. Speaking of healing, let's heal ourselves with the life terminal, let's save, and before we save, I'm going to be doing a tiny bit of preparations. Obviously, I have every skill that I can possibly equip right now, but make sure that you don't, like, for some reason, de-equip Surf's Void Ice. Void Ice is very, very useful in this battle. But what's also useful is, if we go into our ammo, make sure that Surf has the best ammo that you have access to at this point. So if you found the charge shot, give that to him. And Heat's going to take the shot shell. Not that it really matters that much, because I'm not really going to be using his gun here. And, okay, then I think Surf going first is fine. So actually, here's something interesting. If we check party, we're actually able to freely change the order of our party. Party turn order is not determined by, agility in this game. It's determined by what slot you're in. So this party will always take turns in the order Surf, Heat, Argilla. If you want Argilla to be going first, you want to put her first. So for example, we can do that if we wanted to. I think I'm okay with Surf going first though. And now it's boss time. Like everything else in this dungeon, this boss is pretty much a glorified tutorial.
Stay away!
Harley, tell us what's going on.
That is not important. Who exactly is the girl? What girl? Please don't. I don't know anything. I'm telling you the truth. Why don't you know? We were the only ones on the battlefield. Now who is the girl? Where did she come from? Answer me, Harley. Why the hell can't I get that girl out of my mind? Please. I really don't know. I see now. There is one thing I finally understand. In this world, it's eat or be eaten!
Our first boss is Hayagriva, literally meaning horse neck. It is an avatar of Vishnu in Hindu mythology, ironically for this guy associated with wisdom. But yes, it does indeed take the form of a zebra. Hayagriva is weak to ice and nullifies fire. So normally you're meant to use Surf's Bufu on it, but the Chad strategy is to revert Surf and use Ice Shot combined with the Charge Shot ammo we just found. I learned this from speedruns, so thank you speedruns for showing this to me. Yes, for some reason, this guy tends to get frozen a lot too, so once he's frozen, wail on him with physical attacks. The freeze will always wear off in his turn though. And frozen again. Of course, I could double Ice Shot him. Not quite down to red just yet. Still not down to red. Now he's down to red. And now he sets up a Void Ice Shield. So my former strategy is going to be useless, but this is your telegraph to use Void Fire with Heat. So Surf being transformed right now is kind of going to be to my benefit. Because it means that I won't accidentally like hit ice on that Void Shield. But here we go, Void Fire. Let's set this up. This is also kind of your opportunity to heal if you want to. So I guess I'll go ahead and heal Heat. Bosses in this game typically telegraph their most dangerous attacks like this, and a lot of the boss fights are designed around these Void Shield skills. So there, if we set that up, we nullify his most dangerous attack, he loses his turn, and now we get to wail on him with ice again. This might actually finish him off. Nope, but he froze. And he's already down. Yeah, again, that boss is basically a glorified tutorial, like everything in this dungeon. Also want to know something funny? Harley is voiced by Lex Lang, the current voice of Dr. Neo Cortex in the Crash Bandicoot series, and to me that makes him impossible to take seriously.
You haven't seen the last of me, Crash Bandicoot.
+2 strength. Normal level ups, I think, are fixed.
Harley didn't know anything. Let's get out of here.
I feel so weak. Surf, we must get back to the base.
I kind of wish we weren't taken out of the base due to this cutscene, because there's actually something in Harley's room. But as we found out before, with Harley dead, his entire tribe is now on our side, though random encounters will still show up in the dungeon if you want to just grind for some more experience and stuff. So yeah, you do kind of have to feel bad for Harley. He was just a terrified guy way out of his depth and still adjusting to this new demonic existence. But, you know, he attacked us, so we kind of had no choice. Something to note, though, is that devour skills do not generally work on bosses. In fact, they don't work on bosses at all. We've got 10,000 marker already. I would advise against buying anything major right now. Those Soma drops, though, they're worth quite a lot. But don't worry, the vendor will have more interesting stock later. For now, it's time to head back to the Embryon base and regroup after what just happened there. Though I believe there's some interesting dialogue if we head to Ground Zero. No hunger rush that time. So yeah, offense is generally encouraged, but defense via void shields, or better than void shields, as we'll get later, we'll later on get things like absorb and repel shields. That also does really help, considering that that can frighten enemies. And some people seem to be losing control over their transformations entirely, which I think is implied to be the source of the demon enemies that you fight, the ones who are just totally berserk. Let's head back to that old orange crack in the ground. Oftentimes, the Embryon do change their dialogue after milestones in the story, in this case, Harley being defeated. Yeah, here we go. I was mentioning that before, but yeah, that's mostly because your turn order is the order of the characters in battle. And speaking of people losing themselves in their demon transformations...
Heat. That is Gale.
So, you're hungry, Gale? Wanna eat me?
Cries out to you, deliver us from the dark and give us hope. May you fill us with your undying love, Shanti, Shanti.
What in the hell was that?
A song.
That was a song?
Yes, a song.
Tell me, who are you?
My name is Sarah. I've come to help everyone.
came to help us? From where?
I don't know. I can't remember. I just know that I'm here to help everyone.
And she is also voiced by Wendy Lee, aka Fuka prior to Reload, and also Athena Sykes from Ace Attorney, and a lot of other characters.
Your explanation is flawed. We know nothing about you. You say that you remember nothing. Why then would you help us? I do not comprehend.
I'm sorry.
The thing is, I've heard that song somewhere.
I have too.
Yeah, same here.
I have not. I do not comprehend.
I'm sorry.
But as long as she's here, we'll be safe from one another. We may even be able to return to normal.
You felt that hunger. You felt that power inside of you. All of us have changed, so deal with it.
So, we'll be this way forever?
Regardless, nothing has been resolved. The Karma Temple will identify.
This is a transmission from the Karma Temple. All tribe leaders are to report to the temple immediately.
For what purpose, dissemination machine?
Questions of this nature are not permitted. Report to the temple immediately.
And so, we must head to the Karma Temple immediately. Yeah, clearly something's gone on, and maybe it has something to do with the fact that everyone turned into a bunch of demons and ate each other, and we broke into one of the major army's bases and killed their leader. Maybe, I don't know, or the fact that there's somebody with black hair, which is apparently something really shocking. But yeah, her song seems to have the ability to calm down people and prevent them from going berserk in demon form. So that's useful. It means we don't have to worry about turning on ourselves, because something that, like, Harley, remember when Harley was saying, like, oh, you all ate everyone? If you remember that first cutscene, Harley, I believe, actually ate one of his own teammates, so he wasn't really one to talk in that regard. Our next destination, though, is heading for the Karma Temple. I think most of the people here don't really say a whole lot. Yeah, you may notice that people sound a little different after they have been through a certain shaking event that makes their eyes change color. And yeah, Heat is not as robotic and stilted as he used to be, neither is Argilla. For him, it seemed to be something to do with Sarah, and for Argilla, it was the whole impulse of not wanting to devour people. Meanwhile, people are still freaked out by black hair. It's always funny in, like, settings where something that seems mundane in our world is actually really bizarre and fantastical to the inhabitants. Here we go, Karma Temple's located in the Sahasrara area, which I mostly know because there's an NPC in Zelda Link to the Past who's named after that, who, yeah, is, like, weirdly irrelevant. Like, you have to go to him once and then he stops being relevant. And yeah, here we go, efficient actions. What does that mean? During battle, the Karma Temple keeps track of how many turns pass. The fewer turns a battle lasts, the more marker is added to your tag ring. Yeah, you are incentivized for killing enemies as fast as possible. However, you might also want to weaken them to set up devours as well. Especially, well, we'll be finding out, once we get to the Karma Temple, we will be finding out about exactly how that whole devour thing works. So let's head to the Purple Jurisdiction. This is named after the Crown Chakra, the final chakra in Tantric Hinduism. Again, I love this sort of cyberpunk temple aesthetic. It's just very, very unique. So yeah, this place appears to be a neutral zone. What is this? Oh no, they've forgotten what cats are. The horror! Even more horrifying than black hair, the fact that nobody knows what cats are. Yeah, certainly something's going on here, obviously. We were not involved at all. We did not just break into a base and eat a whole bunch of people. Okay, Heat. Again, you do you. Member of the Maribel. Also, yes, every Atma has a name that's really only relevant in supplementary materials, but Surf's is the Water Crown. Harley's was the Burning Brand, I believe. Heat's is Fireball, Argilla's is Seismic Wave, and Gale's is Twister. Guess some people change earlier than others, but he should probably be seeing magic more than strength behind these eyes. We're getting a little bit of introduction to some of our potential rivals later, the other tribes. Also, there is a large Karma terminal here if you want it. Don't really need it all that much considering that I just saved, but I'll take it. You can't really warp between large Karma terminals and other ones. It's only within, like, the same dungeon, but you can very easily travel around the world since it's really just, like, select your location from a map. Speaking of map, I'm just gonna go up these little side corridors. They're not really relevant to anything, but I just want to mark the map. Ceasefire is strictly enforced in this area. All conflict is prohibited. Oh, we can't om-nom-nom you. But yeah, that seems to be the mark of the Karma Temple on their insignia there. Member of the Wolves. Of course, the Wolves are led by somebody named Looper. Again, everyone's names are very on the nose in this world. This guy is a member of the Brutes. The Brutes are a very heavily militarized faction in a world that's already pretty militarized, so they're considered one of the most powerful tribes, and we're not ready to take them on at all. Let's ride this platform and get close to where the meeting is, so we can actually meet some of the leaders of the other tribes after I fill in the map a little bit more. Also, this is one of the most infamous cases of can't skip this scene in the game.
Everyone is present. Why have we been summoned, Dissemination Machine?
No answer to your query is available. There are no pertinent issues to be addressed at this time.
I do not understand this. The temple summoned...
I summoned you.
You gaze at the heavens.
Angel.
Listen closely, as there is not much time. Mark these words as the temple's new commandment. Soon, the laws of nature governing this world shall regress to a more primal state of being. The key lies in the Atma you have gained. Atma is the power of demons, signified by the brands upon your flesh. A demon gains power by feeding. Rend, slaughter, devour your enemies. There is no other way to survive. You cannot escape your hunger, warriors of purgatory.
What is a demon?
The essence of your new selves, your karma. You cannot yet understand. If you wish to learn the truth, slay those assembled here and ascend to Nirvana. All that you desire shall be granted in Nirvana. End the stalemate with your newly awakened powers and fulfill my commandment at once.
You speak words that we do not understand. Aside from our new power, nothing has changed.
Hi, Jameson Price.
Incorrect. There is one addendum. The black-haired girl. One tribe will conquer this purgatory and seize the black-haired girl. Nirvana shall open its gates to this tribe alone.
This is the common theme behind the unskippable cutscenes. There's a dialogue choice in them. This one doesn't really matter.
You. Remember, if you punish the truth, Sarah, bring her to Nirvana, devouring everyone in your path.
Critical system update. The temple acknowledges demon existence. System inquiry. Review this information, child of purgatory.
The Karma Temple now offers battle skill programs called mantras. Mantras are obtained by downloading them from the Karma terminals in each area. And we're going to go into our next move and how mantras work next time, because it's a pretty complicated topic, and it's one of the main mechanics of this game. So, that revelation from the heavens, literally, I'll see you all next time.